Are we going to get a new winner here? Are we going to get a repeat winner? The Virtus.pro win their 5th major out of 9 of the season. So many stories, so many things that can happen over the next 7 days. We are currently on day number 2, though, in the group stages, where we are playing the elimination match between vgj.thunder and Infamous. And I say elimination match, no one actually goes home from this, thankfully. They do at least carry on, at the very least, until tomorrow, where they might well go home, because we will start the knockout stages tomorrow with the double elimination bracket, all best of 3s as well, you'll be pleased to hear if you're just joining us. $1.5 million on the line, as well as plenty of DPC points as well. One of those teams involved in the DPC fight currently sit in 8th place. They're playing right now, vgj Thunder, who are searching for more points to secure their spot at the International. And we'll know by the end of this tournament the 8 teams that are definitely at the International and who's going to qualify, as one of which will likely be Infamous, their opponents in this particular game. Our second draft is just around the corner. We're back with our panel once more. We've got Suns fan, Black, and Trent as well. Gents, we'll talk about this DPC stuff. It feels like we've talked about it all season long. It's all been very exciting and it's led up to this point. Yeah. It's almost done now. Like, we're so close to finding out over the next week who are the top 8. Is it the 8 you thought it might be? I mean, you know, when you go back to the start of the season when we had those there were big games, I remember, from Mineski at the start of the year, and Immortals were fantastic in the first couple of events. They looked incredible. I thought, wow, here we go. Korea's going to win a TI. Just some teams have fallen off. Some have really come to the fore, like LGD.
I think it's definitely way more of a predictable season compared to previous years. Like, there wasn't so much of like team formations this year. Where like you think of like Liquid when they just got they formed together. They played the whole year. Same with OG from Monkey Business and just making their way up. That's kind of those storylines for the past couple of years. This year was way more stable in terms of like you're just looking at certain teams. Now, are there teams who are not there you might have expected? EG, of course, coming to mind. Kind of expecting them to make, I mean, top 8, that sounds like, I mean, we're just going to be top 8. How hard can that be? Apparently, it's not that easy.
It's quite tough.
EG, OG, Navi, there's a lot of teams that I thought would at least be at the bottom area, but no, not even close.
Yeah, these boys are very quick with their drafts, by the way. I've already got into the second phase of bans, and we've started things off with Bane Tusk opening, not unusual for vgj Thunder, and a Clock DP for Infamous. This is a little bit different, though. Yeah,
I think I heard the idea of, like, they looked a little lost in that game, right? Like, I think having direction in your draft can be such a nice thing, especially when you're up against someone who's maybe a little bit stronger. And someone like Death Prophet really does give that to you. You have Exorcism, it comes off cooldown, you say, hey guys, why don't we take an objective? You know, we can look towards this tower, we can look towards Roche and give them something to play around, rather than something extremely difficult like the lasso.
Yeah, if you have a lasso and you got to pick off, you need to be in position to take an objective right after. If you respawn too quickly, you will lose the fight. It's like very difficult to execute.
You know, you guys know I like the underdog story, right? Because I've been an underdog my entire life, right? So with Infamous, I feel like the mindset you go into this, you pick normal, and then you pick something crazy for number 5.
I mean, Kataro Hayama.
Like Huskar.
Exactly. That is his legendary hero.
I know. Yeah. So, of course, it might, like, you might get to that point, like, oh, Huskar's terrible. This game. It doesn't matter. You pick it. All right. You pick it.
And that's why you're an underdog.
Techies is the worst hero in the game. Doesn't matter. Pick it.
Techies is more viable than Huskar, I actually think. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
I might agree with that, honestly.
I think Huskar is bottom of the barrel.
I can share a secret with you.
Yes.
Out of 10 games.
Oh, careful. There's people listening.
It's okay.
Okay.
Just out of 10 games, when I played Carry Pudge.
Carry Pudge, okay.
You go legit carry items. I won 9 out of 10 games.
10 seconds.
So if they're listening, their coach right now.
Now these are normal games or against bots?
Normal games.
Okay. just checking.
And FPL games too.
Oh.
In-house leagues.
You know, they did just buff Pudge, or they nerfed and buffed at the same time, right?
Yeah,
the hook is actually way better at level 1 now.
They support Pudgedom.
Yes.
All right. So
essentially,
if the coach is listening.
Okay. There. Perfect.
Here you go, Infamous.
You're welcome.
Infamous. Please give me 10%. Thank you.
10% of what exactly?
Whatever they're getting.
It's not going to be DPC points, I don't think. Maybe it will. Maybe they'll battle their way.
Are they still eligible?
I don't think they are.
No. But you still, I mean, do you still get them? Do they still send you a little form like, congratulations? A little envelope shows up your door?
Well,
you're not eligible for these.
It depends. If you're missing like 1 or 2 players, you get like a percentage of the DPC. But they might be just
they're just
completely
not a team,
though. It's just all over the place.
They're like red.
Yeah. So who knows? So I'm going to see some Brewmaster. I love
Brewmaster pickup. Good team fighter overall. Solid offlane. Tusk and Brewmaster offlane are very strong dual lane. Can bully a lot of the carries that are played nowadays.
Can block the wave too. Kind of similar to the Clockwork.
Get closer to your tower. although it got nerfed quite a bit, 4 seconds now level 1 rather than 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That really got killed.
And the cooldown is like, what, 25 level 1 now? So you can block once rather than twice.
Yeah.
With like way less duration too. Don't get me wrong, it's still good.
Still good.
It's just not.
You got to get it right when they spawn or something now.
Yeah,
you got to be a little bit more diligent
double
about
block.
it. Yeah.
You like shizzle like that. Yeah.
Shizzle.
Imagine
Perfect. Thank you.
that this clock for Infamous is a support clock, but they do play it in the off lane as well, so it's going to give them some guesswork, I guess, on the other side of vgj. Thunder.
What they need is a save.
But I just don't think they picked 2 cores at the start of the game, right?
Yeah, you want that flexibility.
Yeah.
So the options there. I think the fact that vgj Thunder have now picked the Brewmaster into the Clockwork, as well as the DP, is kind of just like, oh, it's interesting. If we hit that hook shot, yeah, and that silence, like, we have a good chance of maybe taking this guy down.
ROTK is just ignoring what Infamous have drafted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
doing
he's not even
his
looking.
thing over there.
That's pretty
Like,
obvious.
my own heroes have no care for counters,
Hey,
thanks.
all right, I have a real question for you guys. I know that this seems... Anytime we talk about level 25 talents, people kind of get mad at me because we never get to that point. But I love talking about them so much. All right, this new Shadow Fiend change, right? You have the +2 damage now on the same level as 150 Shadow Rays. Which do you take? And then for the level 25, you have the 40% spell amp, or no, 40% cooldown reduction, or the -5 in addition to your.
Are you trying to get the presence with the buildings?
Dude, I want it so bad.
It is
so bad.
Really good.
Wait, what is the? I'm not gonna put everybody on the spot now. The actual armor reduction with everything added up.
11.
It's 11. With the +5. Okay. To buildings. That's insane.
And tier 3,
that is insane.
the tier 3 tower has 19 armor, so it goes all the way down to 8.
That's not including anything like AC, Deso, all that.
If you go AC, it goes down to 3. It basically just melts.
Man, you've done this math.
Dude, this guy has one thing on his mind. How can I avoid people and just destroy the buildings?
How can I break buildings, kill creeps, and farm?
But that's how you win Dota, right? Objectives.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the big prize.
Eventually.
Yeah, but
Just takes
whatever.
time.
Shadow Fiend beats DP in lane. What do you think, Trent?
I mean, I'm down with the Shadow Fiend. It's okay, right? We're in there. We just hit some creeps, go back, hit some more creeps in the jungle, live your life. Yeah, raise them, slap them, do your thing.
No, but seriously, on lane, when you play DP, you feel really bad playing against SF because the only way you get CS is by using Crypt Swarm after like level 3, 4.
Yeah, once he is.
And you don't have enough damage to really contest his last hitting. Yeah. And then you're, of course, very vulnerable to dying. If you ever get blocked by the Tusk, you pretty much just die on a triple raise. I just really like the matchup. You could pick up.
Yeah, Tusk can still do some things, it turns out. Even with all these nerfs, the mid lane is still where he kind of feels home. So if he pulls back that wave a little bit, if him and Brew just like, he can disappear for a second, and suddenly he's mid, he throws one little shard there, and things go off. But we had the clock. Yes. We have the Disruptor, and now we have the Beastmaster. Man, this Brewmaster, you have to be a little concerned. Like, you can say, like, Chalice in his game, he got completely destroyed early on. Didn't end up mattering. Still was just fine because he's a Brewmaster, so maybe that same thing can occur, but I feel like he's going to have a really hard time just getting ultis going.
They have to be careful that they don't overkill one hero. Because they spend like 2 or 3 ults on this Brewmaster, the others are going to go ham, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, especially when it's a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. This SF is quite vulnerable to... Like, if DP goes on him and he gets rawed, he's just dead.
Yeah, and
even
that's
with BKB on.
Yeah, especially because that's what you want against SF, is the magic piercing.
Oh, so it's a safe lane DP, actually. Okay. So they're avoiding the bad matchup and giving the SF the bad matchup instead. I really like this.
But can vgj Thunder throw it around again? Switch a little switcheroo.
I mean, safe lane SF is okay.
We've seen it. We've seen it. It's not great.
Good, but it's okay.
Because you can't really go back to jungle, right, as easily in the safe lane.
I always say last pick, I'd rather see a Slark, but it's always banned last pick now. Because everyone is picking it last.
I just...
Or the Bloodseeker.
Right.
Bloodseeker could... Yeah,
it's not that great.
He's not that good. Like, he's quite vulnerable to
You don't think it's that good?
This game.
No, this game, no.
No, in general, yes.
Yeah. I really like it with someone like SF too. Like, I kind of like the Bloodseeker that transitions into like a little bit of utility, and you have that harder hitter in the mid lane. I feel like those two actually pair really well together.
I'm still saying my favorite combo, Bloodseeker Zeus.
Zeus.
Oh, yeah. Half health.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. A little bit of blood rage going on there.
What's wrong, Paul? You don't like it? You love it?
No.
I think for Infamous's draft,
dude. What do you think?
Those
two come at me in a game, I'm going, I'm leaving.
Yeah. I think you're half health off of one button.
Yes.
They've actually done what Shannon said. Suns fan was right.
What did I say? What?
You said going for this hero, this classic hero. Like, no matter what they pick, dude, TA is almost as up there as Huskar. Yes, for him, for Guitarro, that is his legendary hero.
I'm not saying,
but it's
from
a
that
counter.
perspective, sure.
It's a counter to SF.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And you know what happened now? SF is going safe lane, and Razor is countering TA instead. So they're countering the counter of the counter.
Like, we're trying to help.
Hey, I called
here.
that. I called that part.
You counter, yeah.
The switcheroo is what we call
Yeah,
it.
the switcheroo, okay.
Switcheroo for 2.
So the counter of the counter of the counter of
Yes.
the counter.
I can't count that high.
4 counts.
Has anyone got any aspirin?
Not today. Not today.
At home.
Okay. Which way then?
Thunder.
Infamous.
That leaves you with LGD then, Blake.
Sorry,
if they
buddy.
pick
I'm going for
Huskar.
PSG, guys.
No, all right, 1 for 1. So you
Yeah,
get the
Thunder's going to win.
Thunder?
Oh, come on.
All right.
I'm sorry, dude.
Have some faith in something.
Dude, you went Thunder just now. I went the other way.
Infamous.
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 Man, you're taking
Thunder.
a big risk on your percentage here, Trent. Boy.
Are they keeping track of these?
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, there is a prize.
Yes.
If when you win $10,000.
Last time I won a
something
toilet
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
100,000.
No, don't worry about it. You're
It's
okay.
fine, yeah. No problem at all. Right then, let's move on from the fun stuff on the panel and head over to the serious guys in the commentary booth for game number 2.
That's right. Should be a good one as well here. Game 2, vgj Thunder versus Infamous. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm here with Fog. We'll see the drafts. We indeed have got a fun final pick from Infamous. They are going to end with that Templar Assassin, the hero that they love to pick out when they can seem to sort of find a way to do so. And they have, in the sense that they will be able to put it against that SF in the middle lane. But the Razors picked up in response.
Yes, they could go for the dodge of the dodge of the dodge, as the panel was saying. And I think, to be honest, I like this draft way more. I mean, there's no IO in the game, so sure, that's going to already influence a lot of it, but this is much more Infamous than that I'm used to seeing. I mean, I think Stinger's actually the only hero I really like seeing him play, for the most part, is the Beastmaster. This is probably one of the few that I do like seeing him play, and I'm glad that we heard Trent having that knowledge. Minos, Kotaro Hayama, this is his second most played hero. It's the Huskar and the TA.
No surprises with that way. I mean, thinking back to the times that we've seen Infamous sort of have these games where they do turn up and they're able to sort of take it against these opponents that you would normally sort of pit as sort of having the advantage against them. These are the ways that they win these games, Infamous. Getting these heroes that Kotaro Hayama, aka Minos, can absolutely go off on.
Yeah, and they've got the clock as well versus, I mean, the Brewmaster was picked after, of course, but the Clockwork versus Brewmaster, the panel talked about that interaction, can be quite tough for this Brew to have a good game. Can definitely get shut down as long as they don't put too many eggs on shutting down this Brewmaster. So what are the matchups we're going to get? It does look like it's still just going to be the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, though. At least from the starting items so far.
We'll see if any help is offered from either side towards the mid as well.
Oh, Fade's got the cool Tusk as well.
Oh, from the shards?
Yeah,
no,
it's in the cooler one.
The orbital decay.
The orbital decay, indeed.
Very fancy.
Eyes on Matthew this game, though, as his Clockwork. Can make a lot happen in the laning phase. To defend his course in particular.
See what we can find.
So they're going to do the, okay, so yeah, Clockwork, Death Prophet top,
Okay.
Disruptor, Beastmaster bottom, the pressure lanes we've been seeing a lot. Maybe we'll see Excel move, but I've seen like the Axes plus even with the Disruptor nuke, it's quite a lot of damage, this hero. Let's see how this mid matchup in particular goes.
I was going to say, this is going to be the interesting one. See if Minos
DDC's gonna ruin Minos having a good time here, though.
This is going to secure Freeze a good shot at getting those early creeps up for the.
That's why we saw Excel playing between the two lanes. He's like, I should be bottom, but I'm predicting that this Bane's gonna go mid. So that's already a good start for them to at least know that, and to Excel to preemptively position himself there. And they have Stinger in a 1v1 matchup. They should be able to get a decent amount there.
Just spamming out the Thunder Strike onto Freeze.
Yep.
Trying to harass him away, but Freeze is pretty much able to get those early few CS to get the souls built up that he needs to have that chance against a Templar Assassin's high right click once the refraction's out.
Yeah, and a scary thing about this Bane Shadow Fiend duel lane, though, if they do keep it up for a bit, is even if you do have your refraction stacks, you sleep. You put the Nightmare on, you hit him a few times, you break that refraction, and then you can set up for the triple raise situation. So it's a pretty neat interaction they can go for here. Minos, here comes the sleep. This is what we're talking about. Oh, the wake up though.
Maybe they can still find it though with the Brain Sap. It looks like Freeze just couldn't find the angle for those final few raises as Minos is able to salve. DDC trying to find the right click to cancel at least some of that healing, and he will do so. And at the least, this is still time when Minos is just being bullied away from that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's level 1 still too, and DDC's still chasing for him. A couple more hits, gets the sleep off.
He's got the mango. He might just have this kill.
He's got it.
He's got it, DDC.
DDC.
Oh my goodness.
He's got a brain sap up in a second too. He's turning on
Surely
Excel.
he can't do more.
He's got the brain sap. Excel, you gotta start running.
He's not going to outright click a Bane.
Nope.
That's for sure.
Oh, DDC just pushing the limits of his hero.
My goodness.
And look at Freeze is like, thank you
and
so
look
much.
what he's found as well.
Oh,
he'll take that.
Let's just watch that full mana come up. Screw the other lanes. Let's just
yeah.
okay. Lane secured. DDC doing his job.
Absolutely. The Bane. I would say the Bane SF, but that was just the Bane. Did it all on his own. Chase down.
They punished. I mean, there's the TA still level 1. Didn't even have the refraction.
Down bottom. Look who's here. DDC. He's ready to join in the fun. As Fade sets up for Sylar. Don't quite have enough damage to kill off Matthew.
Sylar was holding a skill point there just in case if they could close the gap for that current. He's probably going to buy boots so he can make sure to, and he will do that. So 56 damage stolen. Lane's already looking to be a bit of a problem here for Infamous. Bottom's going okay. Stinger's doing a great job because he's in a 1v1, but the other two are very devastating.
It's going to be hard for Minos. I mean, it's double the levels on Freeze at the moment, level 4 against the level 2 of TA.
And when TA, people say, classic counter to SF, but SF, once you get if you get a head start versus TA, it's completely the opposite way.
You've got the right click advantage.
You've got the range. Yep. You've got the damage, which becomes pretty similar, and you've got the range advantage, and you have kill setup whenever the Bane makes the rotations.
Again, the backup of Axel is here. But as you say, one Nightmare and a kill can certainly be easily set up.
Already. Careful.
Fraction is back up. And again, immediately taken off. Minos, another salve having to be ferried out to him.
And Dynamic.
Top lane, they move in, and this time they will find it with the levels on Fade and Sylar. They roll in, close the gap onto Matthew.
Level 2 Link. With those boots as well on the Razor.
All three lanes having a pretty fantastic start for vgj Thunder, and here's the mid lane. The first raise will be whiffed a little bit, but it looks like it won't matter. Refraction's out, but is it enough instances to keep that man alive? It is not.
Nope.
The third raise is there from Freeze, as Thunder take another kill around this mid lane.
So Infamous had a plan, and DDC has completely foiled it with his Bane movements.
Oh, denied.
Denied. But Oxel, careful.
He's dead for that.
He sure is.
The shards blocking him in as Fade comes in, has the control. Freeze with the double kill. The difference now between Freeze's SF and Minos' TA is going to be phenomenal. At this early stage of the game, just 4.5 minutes in, it's already so hard for the TA to come back into this game.
Yeah, and they wanted the Death Prophet. They're like, all right, we're going to put Death Prophet top to make sure that she can farm and not get shut down because of the Tusk rotations with the Shadow Fiend. But Papita actually can't really farm that well up top. Constantly getting linked, and the Tusk is playing top with the Razor, so they move bottom.
Yeah, they want to try and find Yang before he hits the 6. Kinetic Field won't trap him though. He's able to keep backing off. Matthew is looking to dive, but the damage is not quite there as Yang will survive. The wraparound for DDC comes through, and he's starting to right-click onto Matthew. Matthew has the cogs to create the gap. Will keep him safe. There's 3 heroes there trying for a kill on the level 5 through, and they can't quite do it. Let's see what they can find here now as the Shrine's back. Yang, Fade, and DDC grouping up. Still yet to get the level 6 on that. 4-0, 2K lead.
Oh god, Stinger just TP'd right in front of them.
Body blocks as well. Shards.
Stinger.
Stinger trapped up. Yang close to the gap. He's dead.
Stinger.
And as you said, well, that was his TP being popped, so he has no way to get back to lane.
He just TP'd right in front of them in the creep wave too.
Maybe a misclick?
He didn't have mana. I don't know.
5-0. Does manage to at least pick up the phase boot. Stinger. With all 3 cores of vgj Thunder farming perfectly. As you can see, they're
3K lead. It's only 6 minutes. Uh-oh.
That's a rough start indeed. And Fade already, he's ready to go from where he's found an Invis rune.
And they already have the ward placed, so they see Matthew place that defensive ward in mid. Minos.
If they can trap him, they'll have him. The 3 heroes ready to go. Minos, how careful is he going to play? He does have Matthew around.
He seems to be a little bit aware of this. I mean, they know that Fade was invis that whole time because they saw him pick it up bottom, so.
Bottom lane. Yang just goes in with a primal split.
Looking for pressuring Stinger too. Stinger should be okay. 10 stick charges. It's gonna bother him. Throw him in the air. Make him miss some last hits. Deny range creep too. Oh, Yang didn't deny it.
He didn't deny it.
He didn't. Oh, come on, Yang.
Oh, Yang.
I thought he hit it once.
Oh,
he hit it
on.
once. He teased us. He teased us a little bit.
didn't deny the range creep. Come on, yeah.
I thought he was going to BM deny it. I really did. And Minos continuing to get bullied. Level 5 PA versus level 7 Shadow Fiend. Top now to Nikita.
He's got the siphons. Is it enough to keep him alive? It's doing a lot. Nightmare's out onto him. Have they got the burst again? They haven't. So Pamita will survive.
And Fade?
They're turning it around. They've taken down the Razor. They'll take down the Tusk. Infamous turning up in force. On that top lane, the siphon's just enough to keep Pepita safe.
Yeah, Stinger also rotating. They have to make some kind of rotations to fix these lanes.
It almost felt like that Nightmare sort of saved him as well. Gave him a few, so that bit of invulnerability on the TP.
It was actually slept on the Clockwork, and I think he turned and hit the Clockwork to sleep himself because of it.
Ah, okay. So
yeah, so it was actually a nice little play from Pepita. Because I saw DDC sleep Matthew, so he couldn't come into the fight.
Ah, that makes sense then.
Yep.
Mid lane.
They're breaking the refraction.
The TPs are coming through, but he doesn't stick around for that final race. Didn't want to go for it, Minos. As he was a little spooked by those TPs. One more raise would have done the job.
Yep. Interesting. Stinger's kind of happy about that, I guess.
Minos will survive. The Infamous are certainly starting to close that gap back up. Only a 2k lead now. These kills that they've found.
And they're making sure to stack Ancients. Yeah. That's the important thing that we want to look at. So they got a triple on one side, double on the other. So that's the way always, you get TA back in the game off those Ancient stacks. I would imagine that we're going to see Thunder probably play some wards and make the plays around there.
I think so.
Once they see the TA not mid, they're probably going to see some Disruptor like sapping mid experience and be like, okay, time to check those Ancients, got to make some invasion plays. And they do have the Brewmaster.
Pepita, they've closed the gap, they've found him alone. Siphons won't save him this time. As Yang crits him down. This Brew, top of his game at the moment in net worth.
They're looking to punish Shadow Fiend though in the mid lane though. They've got the TA traps as well, Clockwork as well as Beastmaster rotating in.
Let's see if they can find Freeze. A fantastic kill for them to get. They do get the slow onto Freeze, but still the rest of them a little far away. They get scanned out. There's enough information to say Freeze doesn't look like the Roars there. But if they can keep him alive for Snowball, it's actually going to take Freeze pretty deep in. He's got the razors, will be able to burst down the Disruptor. Trying to rev up the ult with the battery, so make sure he can't cast in. Look at this. Pepita comes in with a Crypt Swarm, takes down the two of them. That Snowball in.
Yeah, I mean, he got a support kill, but not worth it.
I mean, he's going into 3 though with an SF that was already a little low.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. Infamous responding well. They have to make these moves around when they're at this much of a deficit early game. They have to constantly move around those cores, those supports, try to secure these lanes back and give the space for the TA to do this. Hit those Ancients. Minos now finishing up the double stack. Very nicely done. Thunder has to not be so confident. Runes. Bounties are up.
Yang getting very close to his Blink Dagger. 1600 on it, on his Brew.
With Treads and a Soul Ring too. I mean, he was given the safe lane farm, so should be that top net worth. And Minos now farming that secondary Ancient stack. This one is a triple.
He's getting away with it.
Yep, they're not contesting it.
And start to make his way towards that Desolator. Pretty good rate considering how hard of a time he had mid because of DDC's presence. Mid lane, maybe looking for the setup. They do have one shot available and Matthew's in straight away. Yang does get the final split off though. The Battery Assault and Cogs not quite in place to stop him from getting that cast animation off.
And Matthew used a smoke there. I think he actually misclicked. He had the Mango in his inventory too, so he hookshot it in, didn't have the mana initially for the Battery Assault plus Cogs, popped the Mango a little late and then used both, so a little awkward there. If he can actually isolate the Brew without any creeps, of course, then he will be able to chain lock him down with that battery, but mistake coming out for Matthew. And they lose the smoke too.
And they lose the tier 1 tower. Freeze getting the space up top to take a tower down all on his lonesome.
Costly mistake. That was the first usage of that.
Look at the Roar. It is underneath this tower. TPs will be coming through, but they've got the Exorcism. Silence immediately onto DDC as they look to dive beneath the tower. For Sylar. Sylar goes for the TP out. He's not going to make it. The burst is too big, but Infamous, they may pay for this as vgj Thunder want to fight back. DDC's actually going to fall, though. Infamous with this Exorcism doing a lot of work. Pepita's still alive. The raises, the right clicks will do it, though. As Freeze is able to cut down the Death Prophet, but not before Infamous did get away with taking 2 of vgj Thunder's lives.
Nice little cute glimpse there was coming out from Excel. Pushed the Shadow Fiend a bit away, so they got that extra kill because of it. Matthew.
He's in trouble.
Don't have the raise up just yet. The hook shot's off.
Connect.
Still slowed a little bit by the Orb of Venom. Can they close the gap?
The raise
is off.
It's off the mark.
The shards, though, will secure it.
There we go. Charges back to base in a coffin. As that is Matthew down.
And I believe this is what Yang does now have the Blink Dagger, so they will have a better way to actually initiate and start the fight rather than just having Fade to snowball constantly. But this is off giving space, right? Where's TI been? The jungle.
Just catching back up, Minos.
She's got 1,800 gold now. So they're looking to just keep aggressive with those core heroes on the side of Infamous to at least just give that space. But it is under ward vision too, so Thunder are aware that that was happening this whole time.
As long as you can get that Desolator, they do have a good team to sort of set up for the TA. You've got a lot of control between the Clockwork, Beastmaster, and Disruptor to make sure that Minos can walk up and do the damage.
And they've got a beastly Roche lineup with Exorcism as well as TA plus with Deso, and if she gets it. Can be quite sure Matthew.
Mid lane, Matthew indeed getting caught out again. They snowball in. And a tower will be taken off the back of that affair as well.
And they get a T-ward. Freshly placed ward in that mid lane. Stinger in top. Has the book one. Gonna pressure the tower a bit here. Does he actually get caught out here though? Yang wants to look for him.
In he goes with the primal split, ready to chase. Stinger will turn, stuns the Earth Ruling to stop the sun from coming up, but still the shards and Snowball are there from Fade, closing the gap.
Is that roar even ever worth it? You're dead for sure. Now he doesn't have roar when he's up for 26 seconds. I think you want to usually save your roar, because then you can set up a play right afterwards, and you know the Bruce split's going to be down. I guess he tried to live, but it's.
I mean, even if there was no one else,
it's a futile
you roar the Earth one, and then you get set up in the air.
Thrown up in the air, exactly. Yeah, it's a.
It's
not a fan.
A panic play.
A panic play. Okay, sure. Were they able to get anything out of it? I mean, Pepita got bottom tower out of them.
And how's Minos' farm? He must be getting close to that Desert with the space he's getting.
2,600.
Yeah. Very close to having that DD Rune as well, helping speed up that last bit of farm towards that second Desolator. Second. Not
like two
not the two Desolator build, no.
Jesus.
I say that for my CM pubs. There we go, Infamous.
Got good deep wards down.
Straight in on the Bane. Hookshot and Exorcism will take down DDC. We'll see if they can get more with it. It's
all of Thunder's here.
Does find SF, but indeed SF has backup. Thunder are ready to fight. Pepita gets around. Instantly losing two. The Exorcism gone to waste.
Stinger, he's got roar back up.
He does, but he doesn't have any friends back up. There's two dead at the moment.
Oh god.
As Stinger, another roar for one, as he will fall. Thunder taking the advantageous position around that shrine.
And they get the book cleanup too. 200 more gold. Infamous just throwing lives away to make space for Minos, who does have the Desolator finished up.
Matthew sees the freeze is low.
Ooh.
Doesn't have hookshot though.
He's got vision.
Can he close this gap somehow and go for some crazy sort of play? Probably not. And he won't.
Gets spotted by the courier. Gets
Does
pinged out.
I mean, he's got hookshot back up in 15 seconds.
He got spotted though.
Indeed, they know that he's there.
But Matthew.
He's on a hunt.
Can he make this?
Look at this stealth move.
Can Matthew
round
get this?
The ward vision.
Can Matthew get this? Freeze? Is he gonna get caught off guard? There's a rocket up. The hook shot's on cooldown. No! That would have been so good.
Nearly. Mid lane at the same time. Pepita gets jumped in on by the big old brute. It's a nice static storm.
Good static storm.
I mean, they're hitting good spells, just not together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
So much damage.
As Thunder continue their reign, Freeze continues to sit at the top on his SF 8K level of advantage. And already looking for more. Matthew will hookshot over, but the bruise split is already out. So Yang will be fine. They got the control for Stinger. They snowball forward. There's the stun from the Earth Ruling, and Stinger once again. He has the roar. Will it save him?
It will not. Another roar.
Oh.
And the book is down too. The Fiend's Grip as well, Matthew.
As well, everything just not going the way of Infamous.
Do they kill the books as well?
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do another 200 gold as well. Stinger.
Oh.
Stinger's gave up a lot of gold recently.
He has. I mean, at
but Minos is still farming.
And
He's still doing the jungle.
Maybe Thunder's lost their hearing with all the roaring going on, but they're not losing their lives.
Nope. definitely some lack of synergy coming in from Infamous. They have to, I think, just group up. Stop getting picked off all over the place.
It is all the, you know, they want the space.
They're making the space.
Desolator and Blink Dagger, then they're gonna go.
But they should be playing as 4.
Happens.
But they have to be playing as 4 while this TA does do this. It seems like it's becoming like these like 2 or 3 people making the play, and then Stinger comes in at the end of the play already happened. He's like, hey guys, oh god, I'm dead. So they have to be playing a lot more together, even if they're going to be making space for this TA. Just sit behind your course.
The BKB now complete on freeze, so sure the Roar will still be there, but they have to sort of get the damage around it unless Minos is about. They need that physical DPS.
And if they can get one big fight, if they kill a couple heroes, they can go straight into that Roche pit really quickly. And they now do have a couple defensive items. They have the level 12 on Death Prophet. They've got the Yules as well. So she can at least guard herself a little bit, but there's still a significant amount of burst damage coming out on Thunder.
Here we have it. Ready to rock and roll. DDC has Fiend's Grip in 12 seconds. Stinger. It's going to get snowballed on, but there's the turnaround plays back. He comes forward with a hook shot. Freeze pops the BKB, gets the Requiem out. Exorcism's out from Pepita as they try and chase down Freeze, but a quick nightmare off the TA makes sure that Minos cannot chase down Freeze. Freeze will be allowed to back off.
They're trying to disengage.
DDC will pay with his life, but they keep Freeze safe. They can turn towards Roche. With the Exorcism, the Desolator, they want to get something done. They do have a good shot at this one.
TP is up from the Brewmaster now. Brew has split as well. They scout the Roche.
They're not going to be able to get in time.
Yeah, Yang doesn't even bother trying.
All right, so Infamous making the most out of that situation.
Yeah, that was the BKB Shadow Fiend reveal, and it was Infamous taking the fight. They were all ready. This time, they all positioned themselves. They were as a unit for once.
Oh, the Rocket Flare vision for the glimpse back, but there's the roar. They've got the roar. This time Stinger with the setup. Snowball comes in. It's got the save. It's going to make them turn around and take down Matthew. Maybe they can get more as the drums are popped. vgj Thunder trying to chase. Freeze looking towards the Clockwork. Oh, sorry, the Beastmaster, and Axel is going to be caught out as well. So Freeze chases down one. The rest of the team chases down another. Stinger and Axel falling. Despite getting that Aegis onto Minos, Infamous was still unable to take the fight. The Exorcism wears out. They try and go in with the Roar. But again, another Roar that they just can't follow through because the Snowball save is there.
Yeah, all these Roars, they're actually hurting Infamous. They're putting them in pretty bad spots there and getting ran out under the tower. They didn't have their Exorcism available. I think they have to really play around that too. Until this TA has BKB, she is not that much of a threat versus this lineup. Way too much control coming out on the side of Thunder.
Skelly 21-8. A lot of this rests on Minos' shoulders.
If they can get the BKB on the TA and the BKB Death Prophet, then they do have much better ways to take the fight. Sure, Razor and Shadow Fiend still apply quite a punch with that physical damage, but they can at least be, for the most part, uncontrolled in the fights, except for that Bane Fiend's Grip.
We're now starting to push out quite far on this top lane. On TA. Freeze. Running over towards mid. Peter, his own BKB. 1600 gold from it.
They've got vision here. Stinger.
Get the roar off. But was there anyone near him? No.
That's like 6 or 7 roars.
I mean, let's stop counting the roars.
Let's look elsewhere. Let's look. So look at the top creeps pushing in. Top creeps are pushing in.
Lovely trees.
Yeah. Poor Stinger. I mean, poor Stinger this game, honestly. He's getting isolated a lot of the times, but he is getting caught out. He was using the book to farm and farm the Ancients and farm that triangle, and he gets punished for it. Look at Thunder.
The next
They're
roar,
thirsty.
the next roar, I'll tell you.
The next
roar
could be a big one.
Is going to be game changer. I'm telling you.
If he can get it on the...
in Stinger.
If they can get the roar on the BKB Shadow Fiend with the Exorcism going off, that's the success. That's the biggest thing. They just have to make sure that the Tusk isn't around, though.
Yes, 800 Minos will have his BKB.
He's starting to set up those traps, too. Level 18, the plus 200 trap damage. He can start, bombing the waves a bit with those psionic traps. Cutting the waves constantly.
Freeze will come down. Minos hanging around. We'll see if he goes to cut one more creep wave.
Yeah, he's just putting down traps. That's one creep wave. He's just staying. This is his home for a bit. Error? Hold on. Error. Here we go. Infamous. Smoked up. They've got book 3 available. Freeze.
There we go.
Oh,
Roar
there's the roar!
Another roar! But it doesn't do anything for them.
They isolated the Bane with the Death Prophet, but now the rest of them...
They're dying. The Primal splits out. Matthew's in trouble. Only Papito and Minos left alive. They have managed to kill off a couple. But overall, there's 3 dead. Can they get anything more? Fade is getting chased down. Minos looks for him, but the snowball will be there. Buys him some time. Goes straight in onto Papito. Has to back himself away from the Ghost. Crypt Swarm will finish him off.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
There you go.
Pretty good. Shadow Fiend got... Like, did he get... I wonder who force-staffed him. Someone force-staffed him into the midst of everything. I think that was one of his teammates. I only see a Hurricane Pike on Sylar.
Well, there's your answer.
So...
Well, Minos
uh-oh.
doesn't get out.
He's got the Aegis
They
still.
found him.
Will die once. Will they get him a second?
Can he refraction and blink out in time? He cannot.
He does
the grid's
not.
back up.
And he's dead. Buys the BKB before dying though, so not a whole lot of gold lost. But that was probably, I mean, that was the best situation that Infamous had happened in this whole game, that fight bottom. They were able to delay, you know, the Shadow Fiend BKB started ticking low. The Death Prophet ulti, of course, pure physical. Decent damage versus that one. And I think Sylar also killed the book 3, so he had to run away during that engagement. I'm pretty sure he's the one who force-staffed Freeze into the midst of the fights. There's no one else with a force, so.
Walks
shot
on
top.
lane.
The roar.
They're found. He does get the BKB off.
They isolate him inside the cogs. Freeze, can he get away?
Oh, he's speedy.
Is he really gonna get away?
He's speedy. He's out. Where's the rocket flare? Go for it.
He's got it up. He tries.
Where is it?
He shoots it. Does not score.
Oh.
They killed DDC though. In the meanwhile. That one was close though. That roar, if it catches before BKB, 100% dead, of course, but it was still very close. But it didn't. Fair, but it
didn't get him before the BKB. They needed that. If it got him before the BKB, that's a kill. Absolutely. It's unfortunate there. Freeze with the quick fingers, and the stun lock not quite perfect between the two heroes. He's then got his Manta stealth and Freeze. Looking for that extra little way to get out.
Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty damn squishy if he does get isolated.
Sure.
Like the TA as well as the Death probably can rip him apart.
Yeah, you can maybe make the argument for a Hurricane Pike on himself rather than the Manta this game against the block. Doesn't feel the need to do so. Stinger will be able to TP away from Yang.
Got the sleep on Minos.
Oh,
DDC, he's got the Fiend's Grip too.
Grip as well, Minos.
They get the glimpse though from the high ground Excel.
There's a lot of them coming in though. Freeze. Oh,
the blink away.
Indeed, with the refraction, able to get out to the side. Fade is on the hunt. There's the shards out. Won't get the block. Minos trying to turn and punch back, but there's a lot of them chasing down onto this TA. Minos pops the BKB. Can he get a blink off? That's the question. He has the refraction back up, jump forward. Minos hiding with the invis. Has the blink into the trees.
No TP.
They found him. The shards come out. They've got the vision. Minos is caught out in 70 seconds. He's gone.
All of Thunder collapsed instantly when they saw the DDC isolate TA.
Let's see what else they can get out of this. Mid lane. Hook shot.
Tried to go for it.
Not quite got the length.
I think Stinger needs a Blink Dagger next on the Beast Master though. He went for the Medallion, which is, I mean, still classic, great item on Beast, but I think they need the instant follow-up for the hook shot. If they do land the hook, they have to get that Blink Roar before the BKB comes out. The problem is that there's still a Tusk, so they have to watch out for the Tusk positioning for those saves with the Snowball.
Towards the base they come.
Full Shivas, Sylar. Quite farm, 221 last hits.
Incredibly tanky as well. Needed against this TA's physical. Going to do a lot of work for the Razor. There's another tower, will be taken. 26 minutes in, continuous lead.
Papita's level 18 now at least. The level 20 is probably one of the bigger things for Death Prophet, but at least level 3 Exorcism's available. Once he gets the 500 health, he's going to be a decent amount hard to kill. He's going for a Hex quite early on this Death Prophet. Just want that extra control.
Look at the roar.
Got this. Centaur stun is on cooldown though, so they can't actually follow up with anything.
Well, he doesn't hold back on the rules at least. You know.
That's for damn sure. Yeah. Thunder. Trying to keep this map control here, playing on the aggressive. Trying not to give Infamous too much space, but we see Minos, this Templar Assassin, putting traps down in every single one of the lanes to try to cut them. We see that one in the mid lane, takes out that full creep wave. And just trying to find the places to farm.
Easy farm indeed for the tier.
Yeah.
Bloodthorn is what he wants.
Yeah, versus the Brewmaster. And the inevitable butterflies that will probably come out and be nice. And it's just a good item on TA overall.
Even with that Bloodthorn, Yang's, he's got the BKB, so
yes,
still hard for them to play around that in that sense with that build on the TA top lane. Freeze, Sylar, another tower.
I mean, Yang's had a remarkable game, 8-0 and 10 on this brew.
Yeah, he had a beautiful lane.
Really needs the BKB this game, as we mentioned. The Clockwork and Disruptor make quite a nuisance for Brew. Has it quite early on now. And he did go for the Thunderclap slow talent. I was considering, like in this game too, there's not the craziest amount of magic damage, but I don't see the Thunderclap slow talent too often.
And again, it really feels like we are yet to see Infamous try and make a move as a unit.
Yeah. With
that Beastmaster leading in. Maybe this is the change. They join the Roar. The Static Storm down. Can Yang get the BKB and hold off? Yes, he can. Fade will fall, but look at the damage for Freeze, because Freeze, he had a DD rune on him. Will finally come off. He's already picked up a double kill. Buyback from Fade is once again bombed. They've got the grip onto the Death Prophet. Triple kill for Freeze as he's coming across for more. Looks towards Matthew. They'll claim a fourth. Only Minos to survive. As again, Infamous just struggling to take these fights, even when they do lead in with the Primal Roar.
They couldn't get enough damage before. Look, the Brew's just still 2800 HP. Incredibly tanky. Has not the greatest amount of armor, but 12 is enough to be able to tank through all that. Can't actually kill this Brew before the split.
So we can get up top. As Minos pushing out.
They're closing the gap here. Minos has to be very careful. Blinks away.
Chasing.
They've got vision.
And you get out of it. Shiva's guard.
They've got a gem.
And they have certainly got a good shot at the kill. TDC backs off, turns with a quick brain sap, and the kill is found. Minos now down for 75 seconds.
Jeez. 11,000 gold lead, and the experience really skyrocketed. It was pretty close. It was like 7,000 experience. Now it's well above 15,000 from the last two fights.
I think that the reason why that XP was sort of, leveled out at the point was because Minos was farming as much as he was on his own.
Yeah.
And sort of keeping his own levels high. As we're seeing, it's still not doing enough for the team. Hook shot.
We'll find Fade again.
Maybe the Static Storm onto him, so no way that he can react. The Tusk caught out.
That is Static Storm used though, so 80 seconds. Already Thunder, they wanted to stay on the aggression anyway, but now with that down too, they can do it even easier. Papita has to be very careful he's positioned here, farming this jungle. Mid will be the quick easy kill though. TDC claims that one. I've seen this. I feel like I've seen DDC do that so often this game. 4, 5, and 17.
He's had a great game on the bay. Yeah. So from the start to right now, the entirety of it, that sort of early plays around mid that gave Freeze the sort of leg up that he needed. He's 15, 2, and 4 on the Shadow Feed, and a lot of that down to the start that DDC was able to make sure he could get.
Yeah. And that is a quick rush.
Butterfly and Aegis now on Freeze's SF.
Yeah, we see the talents coming out. It's for the 2 times I've seen Shadow Fiend, it's been the same exact thing. The 8% spell amp, movement speed, and damage per soul. So sorry, Suns fan Shannon, you're not getting your presence aura effect buildings. I wanted it to be fair, but
I mean, I guess the problem is, how big is the presence aura range?
It's like 900, right?
It's a decent radius.
Yeah, it's 900.
It is a decent radius. I'll give you that.
It's pretty big.
All right, okay.
Looking for the books. Gonna clean them up. They get one. They're not gonna get it.
They might even get the helm creep as well.
How slow it is. Look how long it's slowed. It's Thunderclap slow.
Lots of money being given up by Stinger this game.
11-second slow duration.
And they've got a full
on the creeps.
hex on Pepita, so we'll see if Pepita can find that jump.
He's still very squishy. Sure, he's immune to the magic during the BKB, but as soon as that BKB wears down, he gets dropped very quickly. And the Shadow Fiend punches quite hard. Only 370 damage, just about. And with throwing that presence, once Shadow Fiend hits level 25, that -5 presence aura is definitely going to start hurting the Death Prophet even more.
See what Infamous can do at the moment. It's just a case of waiting for vgj.thunder to push to the high ground. Minos trying to push out top. Will be able to find a tier 2 tower, and it's getting closer to the nullifier goal. And there's that hex. And raw, but at the same time, the force to save and create the distance. Dragged back though by the glimpse. They will be able to kill him once, saving his BKB for his second life. Freeze, back in the game. Will be able to back off. Matthew will also TP away. So Infamous are able to take the Aegis out of Freeze's hands.
That hex reveal.
I'll stop the push.
Rocket scouts out Thunder on the high ground. Hawk as well. There's no Roar or Disrupt ulti for Infamous though. They are smoking up though. They're still trying to look for the fight with this Exorcism and that hex.
See if they can get a glimpse play. They go for Silent. They drag him back. Instant hex. Got the jump in from Yang. Yang ready to respond. Instantly making a beeline for Stinger. And with the buyback coming out as well from DDC, they want to commit everything to this fight. Thunder. Quick chase towards Minos, but with the BKB, Minos can run himself away. Rips on the Exorcism. Is doing a lot with the Requiem's out. Pepita has to use himself up, but he's incredibly low. A couple more right clicks should do it, and they will. Sylar claims the double kill. It's 2 dead at the moment on Infamous. The chase down comes through as Matthew cannot hookshot himself away. Fade has the control with the snowball. vgj.thunder ready to surround another, but the blink out's there from Minos. Blinks down to the south. Shard block is attempted, but Minos is out of there.
They have the vision. They got the punch.
Gonna look towards Fade. May be able to bring down Fade with him, but it can't quite. Not enough damage. Fade's able to come back in, and there's 4 dead on Infamous.
Fade always getting the perfect situations. That time they get the glimpse play onto the Razor, they get the Hex, blink, snowball. The whole fight just becomes very different and much more difficult because then they can just fully counteract and fully counter-initiate with their Brewmaster.
I mean, talking about the Brewmaster, Yang 9-0-18. It has been a very simple game for Yang as he's made it look. As they walk into the base, bottom lane taking the racks, 3 dead still on Infamous, 50 seconds without Minos. He has got buyback, but they don't have Exorcism. They don't have these team fight ultimates. It's looking like Infamous maybe in their last legs hit in this series.
They even throw the buyback, and she's respawning pretty soon. They know they have to try to take one last fight, one last stand versus vgj.thunder.
Thunder. The 3rd set of racks in their sights. Infamous, what can they do? Stinger, he's got the Roar, but again, in a very apt style this game, the Roar does nothing. vgj.thunder take the kill, stand their ground. Minos trying to get involved, heading forward for the refraction, removed easily, pops the BKB. They do at the Hex, onto the Shadow Fiend, can they kill him off? Nightmare comes out, and bam, he's back up to full, ready to turn, takes down 2, snowball in, GG is called as vgj.thunder take the series 2-0. Infamous not quite able to step up here today in this match, even with the TA pick. It just didn't quite work out. They got the farm and the space for Minos, but they couldn't really get much else done this game.
They sacrificed a lot to get the space and the farm for Minos. They were just constantly running, not as 4 heroes, they were actually kind of running like 2 heroes and then 2 more would show up. Stinger would show up at the end of the fight, throw a Roar out, not too much happened.
Yeah.
But they kind of just got ran over. This Bane in the laning phase, DDC just absolutely dominated the start of this game, and then the Tusk play, those constant saves over and over again, and of course, Yang, the Brew. Just perfect splits every single situation, always finding the right targets.
10-0-21 on Brew.
Spectacular.
And that doesn't happen a lot. Sure, we see some good Brew plays, but Yang really did sort of, as you say, he was given that safe lane, and he absolutely did sort of carry the game on his Brew. The initiations, the way that he sort of turned around the fights, just sort of disrupted anything that they wanted to do. Infamous.
And great item builds coming around from Thunder. They were like, okay, we're going to get the BKB on the Shadow Fiend so he can get his spells off, BKB on Brew to make sure he can get the splits off, and then Siler's like, I'm just going to build tanky and build like these 4 steps and mobility items to just stay on top of the TA.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. vgj Thunder taking the series against Infamous 2-0 as they move on for that chance of getting a shot at the upper bracket at the main event. But for now, we'll pass you back to panel and Paul.
Thanks very much, Owen. Yes, congrats to vgj Thunder. They stay alive inside the group for a place in that upper bracket, as Owen just said, and they will face off against their arch nemesis in this group. A group that we thought would come down to Optic versus vgj Thunder is exactly what it's come down to. That'll be our next series. Before we get there, though, let's just break down another comprehensive victory for the Chinese team in game number 2. Trent, what do you say?
I felt bad that Black threw away one of his predictions in game 1, so I felt comfortable doing the same in game 2.
You felt
I owed him one. I could throw a bone out there, too. So, I mean, I don't know. It was tough. That Brewmaster, that's unbelievable. He has such a good game when there's so many of these classic counters up against him. You like feel like you have the answers, but they didn't. And a lot of that, though, definitely I feel like we have to go back to the mid lane in terms of where that game went wrong. As great as the Brew was, we have to go towards a Templar Assassin game. That's what your game plan's built around. She had nothing because of the support rotations to the mid.
Yeah, I mean, the Bane completely destroyed him early game. His laning phase was, like, I don't think I've seen that low net worth in a very long time.
Yeah. Bane literally 1v1.
I was going to say,
the middle.
that TA could never get going in that mid lane.
It's like he chased him all the way to the woods, then he first bloods him, and then the support wants to help him, then he like bullies him out of lane 2, and then finds a region rune, goes top, wins that lane. And he did everything in the early game.
Yeah, he was a god.
Yeah,
I think we already know who MVP is going to be. We don't even need to ask Red Eye. We know.
Okay.
I would like to
Wow,
go with
that
Brew.
easy?
We know.
You're actually going to
You
give it
disagree with me?
Dude, he was...
What do you?
Yeah,
what
he
did you
worked.
expect?
He did work for 40
He
seconds.
won.
The other guy was like 10, 0, and
Hey,
20.
the first 40 seconds are the most important part of the game. All right? It's snowballs.
You are
all right?
useless.
It's snowballs as Bane.
Oh,
Not really.
God.
But, you
I
know.
thought the snowballs are on Tusk, dude.
Yes, I am getting my heroes mixed up. What can I say?
But that said, what do you say about Infamous Black? Because this is probably, there's probably one other harder group, I guess, in terms of competitive. This is a really, really tough group for them.
I mean, it must be rough for them. It's like, what do you really say? They were kind of just outclassed by VGJ.
They had some decent moments where you're like, they won that kind of fight, and they had the exorcism into Roche, and that's where you're like, okay, now pull it together, guys. You can do it. You know, play around this Aegis, and then suddenly 2 heroes are just dead.
It really just feels like they're missing experience. Like they get this Roche, they think, yeah, now we're on a roll. Now we're actually still behind. And then they go into the next fight, they lose it very badly because they don't have exorcism. They don't actually have the fighting items on TA. He only has a Desert and Blink. You can't really do much against the Brewmaster when you only have these items. You need a BKB. And it just feels like whenever they get something, they overcommit and they lose it straight again.
Yeah, I don't want to be too rude about them, but this is a learning experience. We've talked about this all through the season for South American teams. Pain have done that throughout the season and gotten gradually better and better as they've gone along. This is their 8th tournament of the 22 that we've had on the Dota professional circuit. But there isn't much evidence of that kind of advancement that we were hoping for. Like Pain have, you've seen it. They've gradually got better. They started getting out of groups. I think Pain went like 1-18 at some point in the DPC, and then suddenly they decided, okay, now we need to step up, and they won a game. The next event they got out of groups. The next event they made the top 4. We've seen the advancement. Where is the advancement from Infamous, though?
I think the problem is that it's really tough in that region because, like, yeah, you're going to these big tournaments and everything, but what do you have in between these big tournaments? Like, first off, they don't get to very many, obviously, because of Pain. But in between these, like, the scrim situation is not that great. No one really wants to scrim you because of ping issues and everything. Maybe you're lucky if you'll find some NA teams that want to scrim you, and, well, those are NA teams. So we know where they are in the DPC standings.
From my experience, when you're at the LAN itself, a lot of teams won't play you.
Yeah.
Even you're at the LAN. It doesn't matter. A lot of disrespect, actually, in recent history, I will say. But for South America in general, I mean, I think, like Paul was talking about, the whole point of DPC, this entire circuit, is to give them experience. And they've gotten a decent amount of. The only problem is you just can't keep rosters, the same teams together. That's a lot of turnover overall.
Also
Even Pain, there's been turnover, right? Like, Weeha's just been this like, instant fix for them, apparently, which is great. But long term, they
they've definitely gone through the players, and these guys have as well. But they've got Pepita in that team to kind of build something around, at least.
And he's a beast.
He is a beast, isn't he? So
literally a beast on the board.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard and show you how things shaped out between these two teams. Yang on the Brewmaster, 10-0 and 21, alongside Freeze on the Shadow Fiend with 18-2 and 7. Are there any other offers for an MVP?
DDC, in the first 5 minutes of that game, he won the game for them, guys.
You're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not a great player.
I mean, it's correct.
I'll just say that right now. The first and only time. With that. The first time I'll admit that. But I actually noticed his impact in the early game.
Wow, that's saying something.
Well, it wasn't just like one lane he was helping to win. First of all, I've never seen TA versus Bane 1v1 in that manner before. That was insane. But he won literally all 3 lanes by rotation. It was extremely impressive.
I mean, I agree.
You disagree?
Well, I know that you never notice when your supports help. So that speaks a lot.
Exactly.
That you actually noticed that you did something.
So where are you laying your cards down?
I mean, I agree with what he said. The Bane played really well early game, but the Brew was countered by 3 heroes, and he had no death at all, and just had so much impact in those fights.
Because of Bane, he allowed
the Brew boys. The Brew boys, get out of here.
I think we give it to Brew with a close second to the Bane.
Yeah. Right, honorable mention.
I'll take it.
Yeah, honorable mention.
Yeah.
Co-MVP.
So DDC is MVP.
Can we just have 2 VGJ Thunder players? Can we just do like a comparison
most
with
second
teammates?
valuable player.
There you go.
MVP.
I won. All right, we'll give it to him.
Yeah, well,
excellent.
You were both wrong.
I mean, I don't disagree with this. It's a good choice.
That's not an LGD player.